driver, Chase Elliott, and running. We love the throwback stuff here for Hendrick Motorsports, a Chevrolet. But the Dale Earnhardt Jr., the paint scheme when he won the Daytona 500, remember, it was rain delayed 24, and you were late for school and had a tardy note so that they excused you. And that note, I cracked me up because at the bottom it said, waiting for him to win the race, and it said #Junior. You've grown up a lot since then.
Well, 10 years goes by really fast. But yeah, unfortunately, that tardy note was not excused. It counted 100% against me. But I will say I was second semester of my senior year at that point. And for those of you seniors that have senioritis, that is a real thing. And I did not care about being late to school that morning. So, yes, but it was not excused.
And you've done well since. You followed your career path.
Well, let's talk about today. You guys have had 5 out of the last 6 races in the top 5, grinding away, doing a great job finishing races. How much about today is about finishing races? You obviously didn't qualify where you wanted to. What's it going to be like to just survive the day?
Well, I think that's probably the most important thing about Darlington, especially nowadays with these cars being so fragile. Just a little bit of contact with the wall and immediately your balance will shift or change in a direction that you either had no intention of it going in or something that you weren't expecting. So keeping it out of the wall, I think, is a huge thing. I thought our car had a lot of comfort yesterday, but needed to be a little different balance-wise to be good in the race. But certainly staying around and keeping the right side on this thing is going to be huge.
What's been the name of the game for you? Everybody on this 9 car, you guys are just hitting on all 8 cylinders. What a turnaround from last year. We're getting back going. We're getting in the swing of things. Already got a win. My gosh, that felt good at Texas. Now we have that swagger back. I see it week in and week out with you. That momentum's building. Championship level.
Yeah, our team has been doing a really good job, and I think that starts with Alan and just the leadership that he brings to the table. You mentioned it, our pit crew's been killing it on pit road. When we can give them good pit stalls through qualifying, today not so much, but just, super proud of where our team has been, how we've been working together and for each other, and just continuing to push one another to improve.
Does it feel like that championship year?
It can,
are you
at
feeling
times,
that?
for sure. I still think we have a lot of room for improvement, but, from where we were last year to where we are right now is a great example of just how quick you can change the narrative of what you guys talk about each week. And I think for us, it's just very gratifying to know that our hard work is showing up.
And I think the one thing I want to ask is, you guys have done a good job at finishing races and getting those top 5s. Do you think the speed is where you want it to be on a weekly basis, or is that something where you see a little bit of growth still to grow there?
Some weeks I feel like the pace has been really good. I look at Kansas last weekend, and I thought our car was really, really good from a balance perspective, and I think it had a lot of pace. But I just needed to get myself up into those front 2 or 3 rows to really show that. And Alan had a great call there at the end, and we did that. But I feel like the speed was there last week. I think it can be a little more consistent. This weekend, unfortunately, was an example of that. And we need to be a little better on Saturdays on a consistent basis.
Yeah, last 6 races, 5 top 5s, and you're starting in the back. But we were just discussing before you came. I remember Road America, you were 34th, came out back from the pack. Phoenix, you were able to do that to win races. How about here? Is there a specific mentality because of the kind of track this is when you're starting where you are, trying to get to the front?
I think this one a little different than others. Kevin touched on it, but just staying around throughout this race. Granted, it is 100 miles shorter than the fall race, and the fall race can be a little more difficult because the sun sets and the wall can be hard to see and whatnot, but the track is still extremely slick. But 100 miles shorter means you have to kind of be a little less patient than I think you can be in that fall race. But nonetheless, the name of the game, I think, is still the same here today.
Well, you've won a lot of places. I know this is on your hit list. Thanks for coming by. All right, good luck today. And happy Mother's Day to your mom.
Yeah, she's here today. So
she is.
Happy Mother's Day to the moms out there.
That'd be a nice present for her. All right, thanks, Chase. Let's check the odds.